Let's look at an example of a survey that we did this April 2020. We did a survey of tourism enterprise operations under enhanced community quarantine. It was an online survey via Google Docs. And let's use this survey to to see more concrete examples of the different kinds of data that we collected. Okay, so first, our objectives for doing the survey, we wanted to identify business survival issues faced by tourism MSMEs resulting from the COVID-19 outbreak. And then we wanted to describe what support needs these tourism enterprises needed during the pandemic and after. And using that data, we wanted to propose an analytical framework for how do we support these MSMEs under pandemic or crisis conditions. So what we did was we did a survey on Google Forms. And then we sent the link to different respondents. Okay, so this is what the first part of the survey looks like. So the first question is, what city or municipality is your tourism establishment located in? So they put in the name of their municipality or city. So in this case, we put it in the example of Quezon City. So Quezon City is an example of this question. Actually, the question of what city or municipality is your establishment located in is an example of nominal data. Okay, we can group the respondents in terms of what their answers are. So we can identify this group of people came from Quezon City, this group of people came from Tagbilaran City or the municipality of San Jose. Okay, nominal data. Okay, so we could, and then in the next question, which of the following best describes the main line of business for your establishment? So we have accommodations, travel agency, or tour operators, restaurants, and other. Okay, again, this is nominal data. So as you can see, even if we move the accommodations to where restaurant is and we move restaurant up, it doesn't make a difference in the list in the kinds of data that we got. We can group them into accommodations, travel agencies, or tour operators, but there's no difference in the relative value of accommodations, travel agency, restaurant, or even other. Okay, it doesn't make a difference. Okay, so with nominal data, the order will not matter because there is no value, no numerical value in any of the possible answers. Next question is another typical question format, which is multiple choice. They're supposed to choose only one from the list. Please check the item that best matches your establishment's classification. Hotel, resort, apartment hotel, tourist inn, pension house. So what level of measurement is this? This is the same as the previous one. This is still nominal data. Then the next question, approximately how many rooms does your accommodation establishment offer? It's what we consider an open-ended question. We don't have any choices for them to choose from, possible answers to choose from. So they put in their answer. So the expectation is that they will put in a number. Okay, how many rooms? Okay, so if it's a number, we can start expecting that it will be either interval or ratio. It is a true number. Okay, it has true numerical value. The question now is it interval or ratio? Okay, so if you want to know if it's interval or ratio, the question is, can you get a true zero from question number 4? Okay, do you remember what the true zero is? Okay, true zero means if they put a number 0 there, if they answer 0, it means that there is an absence of the variable being measured. The variable we are measuring here is how many rooms does the accommodation establishment have. If they put in 0, they are saying that they literally have no rooms. Okay? So is that possible? The answer is no, because for them to have to be an accommodation establishment, they should have at least one room. If they don't offer a room, then they're not an accommodation establishment. So this number 4, the level of measurement there it's an interval data. It will give us interval data. And that is where I made a mistake. It is interval data. Now that I was explaining it, now I realize you cannot have 0 here, because the last part of the question is how refers to them as accommodation establishments. Okay, now if we did not have that and all the respondents could answer, for example, travel agency obviously doesn't have a room to offer, then they would answer in 0. Then it would be true ratio data. Okay, but this number, if you look at the top, it says for accommodation establishments only. Okay, so if you are an accommodation establishment, you cannot answer 0 here, and this is interval data. Okay, but in the end, in the analysis, it doesn't really matter. It won't really make much of a difference. Now, this is for travel agencies, tour operators, and other establishments only. Okay. Number 6, which of the following best describes your organization? A large business enterprise, and there's a definition there from the Department of Trade and Industry. Medium-sized business enterprise, small business enterprise, micro enterprise. Okay. So these are categories of enterprises: large, medium-sized, small, and micro. Okay, so it is categorical data. But as you can see, large, medium, small, micro. You can see that there's a hierarchy, there's an order. It's listed from highest, okay, most number of employees, 200 or more, 100 to 199, 10 to 99, 1 to 9. Or more than 100 million, above 15 million, above 3 million to 15 million, 3 million or less. Okay, so you can see that there's order. There is an arrangement from highest to lowest. So this is ordinal data. Okay. Okay. So now and then we got to questions about strategies for coping with crisis. So here these are open-ended questions. So for example, what actions or changes to your business operations have you undertaken since the declaration of enhanced community quarantine? We expected them to put in a long answer text. That means we expected them to write essay type questions or very qualitative responses. Okay, these questions required open-ended text responses, which we would consider to be qualitative. And these responses, these are qualitative, have the characteristics of nominal data. So even by elimination, clearly they are not numeric. Okay, and when they answer, they're very unlikely to be can be arranged in some form from lowest to highest. Okay, but we can count. We can count what the similar types of answers. Okay, and we'll get to that. We'll get to that later when we talk about coding and we're doing actual qualitative analysis. But if you're asking what did we count? Okay, what did we count? So for example, this question about what actions or changes to your business operations have you undertaken since the declaration of the enhanced community quarantine for Luzon on March 13, 2020, we could count, okay, how many gave answers that are related to marketing, how many gave answers that are related to finance, how many gave answers that are related to employee welfare, and so on. There's a little bit of coding and recoding or re-entering the data, but I'll talk about that later. But that's basically what we did. We counted similar themed responses, and in that sense, in that perspective,